Hello guys, so this is Tetro here. Just wanna make like a quick build guide for the Path of Exile 3.9 Metamorph League. So I really wanted to play a melee skill. Haven't seen much melee action. Most people are playing like a chaos damage over time, or like a necromancer, or like bow skills. So I really like playing melee. So I wanted to create one more melee character. Usually every league I will play at least one or two melee characters. But the thing about melee is that you need to have some sort of currency first, right? You need to have like quite a bit of currency before you can actually play melee. And that's the problem with melee, because melee I think is strong, but you need to have really good items. And the items are really costly. So usually, if you want to play melee, you sort of have to start out with a character that don't need much investment, start mapping, then you, once you get enough currency, you can play melee character, right? So this is just a build idea. I'm currently leveling my champion BladeFlurry character. I actually have 3 different templates for the Juggernaut, Zerker and Champion. I just went with the Champion because the Champion seems like a more balanced options between the damage and the tankiness. So just gonna show you the Champion skill tree first, right? Then we talk about the Muruder one. All of them are really similar because there's not much of a points difference you wanna take. Mainly choosing between Muruder or Duelist is just your ascendancy difference. But the skill tree itself is actually really similar in terms of what you take. Usually you want to go for those one-handed swords or dual wielding, and also all those critical nodes and life nodes. So you're gonna start off over here, just some life. Out of Gladiator is just good. We actually want a lot of attack speed for this build and crit damage, and this is also like an impale BladeFlurry, so we really need a lot of high physical damage for this to really work well. Alright, so just gonna go to the left side and grab all the way. You just want to follow through. This is just really nice crit nodes. And along the way, just grab some health. You don't have to fill up all the health. You can just grab the big ones. Then once you actually level up along the way near the end of the game, like maybe level 80 plus or 70 plus, and you don't have much things to put, you can just fill up all those nodes. But when you're leveling, you can just grab the big ones, then move on. You generally want to move on and grab all those damaged ones when you're leveling. They help out a lot. It makes your leveling very smooth, right? There's one-handed damage. This one you also don't have to grab it until maybe like later in the game when you don't have much things to get. Then over here, just gonna go down, get the dual wielding. I haven't got this life yet on my actual character. Maybe later on, once I actually level up and I have the extra points, then I get the life. Usually you want to go and get all those far ends nodes first. Then once you're actually near the end of the game, like near Act 10 and like level 70, while you're mapping and leveling up, you want to fill up all those life nodes along the skill tree. The far ends usually offers a lot more damage, so that's why we want to fill up them first. So you want to go all the way, get some leech. You can fill up all the leech and even get Vow Pack, but I don't really like Vow Pack. But I think Vow Pack is really nice if you want it. You can get some thick skin, just some HP, herbalism over here. Get the one sword notes, just a lot of damage. And you want to get Heartseeker just for the crit, since we are running crit anyway. Like I said, usually jewel sockets, you don't want to get them until you actually have jewels or you want to invest in the character. Once you actually get these few damage nodes over here, you want to make your way to Constitution, just get Constitution. The others are like the same. Once you level up and have extra points, you can fill them up to get the extra HP. So Skewer is really nice, but you don't really have to get it. So I really like more damage overall. And there is also one more impale node over here, just making you deal more damage, more impale, and more attack speed. You can of course get this by sacrificing some of the life nodes here, maybe like a few, like maybe like 4 points. You can grab the impale, 5 points actually. You can actually get the impale. This is more damage if you want, but let's say you don't want too much damage. You generally want to get all the life nodes for more survivability. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the champion. For the bandit, we actually want either Alira or to kill them all for the 2 passive points. Actually, I think that either of them are great, but I think Alira just offer a little bit more damage because resistance and crit multiplier. The 2 points is nice, but it doesn't actually help a lot, because the 2 points you generally cannot get anything that can beat the 20% crit multiplier that Alira actually give. Alright, okay, before I move on to the other classes, I want to take a look at the items. Very simple actually, all the item between all the classes is the same. So you generally want to go for a high physical damage jewel foil sword with high attack speed and high physical damage. Don't really need accuracy when you're playing champion because you have the ascendancy to help out. So about 350 physical DPS is pretty nice. You can easily go and kill endgame bosses. But if you really want to make max, you can go for even higher, but it's gonna be really costly. So I actually recommend, if you want like even higher physical DPS sword, you actually craft it on your own. You can search online for a crafting guide. But the first one, when you actually want to start out, you want to buy a cheap one, about 350 physical DPS, which is about 1 or 2 exalts. But if you really don't have any currency, you can actually go with the Ichimonji. It still helps out quite a bit in terms of DPS. You still get quite a lot of DPS out of the weapon, although it drops quite a bit. But it's still a really nice sword to use. And for helmet, we are running Abyssal helmet for a lot of flat damage added. Overall, a lot of damage. This helmet is really good, but of course the downside is you take more damage. So when you're playing champion, I think it's kind of okay to play Abyssal helmet because you have a lot of damage mitigation. You have a lot of armor to counteract the downside of the Abyssal helmet. So it's kind of nice. You don't really have to worry much. But if you're playing hardcore, maybe not run Abyssal, you can go with a Starkoja or just a normal rare helmet. But Abyssal is really nice for the damage, so I kind of like using the Abyssal. And like playing a champion, kinda the downside is not that much. If you are playing Berserker, however, playing Berserker itself is already like wearing an Abyssal helmet, because you are actually dealing a lot of damage, but you are also taking more damage when playing Berserker. So maybe it also depends. If you actually really want a lot of damage, you can go with wearing another Abyssal on your Berserker character, but I actually don't recommend it because you're gonna die really fast unless you want to be like a glass cannon. So for chest, you actually don't want Glorious Plate, you want Astral Plate. Just a lot of armor. The implicit is nice. You want high life, some rest if you need, and also supported by main level 1 on your chest piece. You can craft it using the fossil, serrated and pristine. Put it onto your chest for astral plate, and you basically link it up, and that's your chest. For glove and boots, glove I'm thinking about using Hemophilia. Just a very nice glove to use. a little bit more damage as well. So you can use the Hemophilia Very Nice Clearing Glove as well, or you can just use a rare glove to cover up your rest and get some life if you need. So for boots, it's just any boots to cover up your rest, movement speed, and life. Alright. So important thing about this build is that you lack intelligence and dexterity, because those jewel foils you actually need about 200 plus dexterity. So that's why Abysso is kind of nice. It actually helps to cap up your dexterity as well as your intelligence, because you need quite a bit. Amulet, you don't want the agate amulet. I didn't put it the right one. You want the turquoise amulet. The turquoise amulet, you can get the implicit of both dexterity and intelligence. Then the amulet itself, you want to get some intelligence on its own, so that you can hit the amount of intelligence you actually need. For ring, one of them you actually need intelligence as well, so to get the right amount of intelligence. So for both of the ring, you actually want steel ring. Steel ring is just a really nice ring that adds a lot of physical flat damage. The mods that you want is just life, you want resistance, and if possible more damage, but it's kind of rare to get even more damage. You can just get a steel ring, use the essence called Contempt onto the steel ring, and see if you can get anything good. So for the belt, you actually want to go for either a leather belt, or you can go for the Stygian Vice. Therefore, the good thing about Stygian Vice is that you can actually put in more jewels. And for jewels, you want crit, life, attack speed. Alright. So that is for the champion. The items is same for all the 3 templates I'm about to show you guys. So the next one is the Berserker for the BladeFlurry. It's really similar. You just go down from here, get more damage. It's actually the same thing if you think about it. Essentially the same thing. But Berserker, you actually get a lot more damage. So I'm go with Flawless Savagery. Just very nice for damage overall, crit multiplier. And you can go for Rage, Aspect of Carnage. This one is nice because you get triple the effect of your Rage. Alright. Aspect of Carnage is a bit like the Abysso helmet. You deal more damage, but you take more damage. That's why it's kinda risky if you wanna run another Abysso helmet on the Berserker. But you can deal insane amount of damage. But that being said, very simple build. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the aura. The aura, you wanna run Dread Banner for the champion especially. So I go back to the champion. Since I'm running Impale, Dread Banner is just really nice. You wanna run not Hatred, you wanna run Blood Sand, Flesh and Stone. These are all just good damage. And Herald of Purity. So the reason why we are not actually running Hatred is because we are going full physical. Our BladeFlurry, we have Brutality. I didn't put it here because I just now experiment around with the gems. But you wanna go with Brutality. With Brutality, you actually cannot deal any other sort of damage. No chaos and no elemental damage. Just only physical, but it adds a lot of physical damage. So with Brutality, you cannot run Hatred because your Hatred bonus damage doesn't actually give you anything. So Herald of Purity is a bit like a steel ring, right? It's just add a lot of pure physical damage to your skill. And you also like summon a bunch of sentinels, so they sort of help up a little bit. But overall, it's very simple in terms of the aura. You could even run some defensive ones, maybe like Arctic Armor if you need. So for defensive cast when damage taken, we actually want cast when damage taken with Immortal Core, because we're gonna get a lot of HP. If I actually socket in the belt, glove, and the other things like the boots, you're gonna get insane amount of HP, maybe like 5k to 6k quite easily. So you actually kind of want to get Immortal Core. Immortal Core is really nice when you have about above 5k plus HP. The mitigation in terms of physical and elemental damage helps a lot more than the steel skin, because steel skin is just a flat value. It's nice for the early game when you have low HP, but once you actually get about near 5k or above 5k, Immortal Core is way better than steel skin. Actually, Molten Shell is pretty nice as well, because Molten Shell, the amount of defensive damage you can mitigate is based on your armor, and we can get quite a bit of armor from this character because of our chest piece, and playing champion can get quite a bit of armor as well. So overall, pretty strong character. The damage share, I'm pretty sure, is way more than this, because it doesn't actually calculate the impale. Impale is basically just to make sure you guys understand, let me show you Impale in Path of Exile. Impale is a mechanic basically every time you attack. For example, you attack for 100 damage the first hit. The second hit that you attack, it takes 10% additional damage from the first hit with your second hit. Meaning, if your attack first hit is 100, right? Your second hit is 100 plus 10% of the previous, so that's 110. Then your third hit is 10% of the second hit, meaning your second hit was 110, right? So 110, 10% of it plus your base damage is your third hit. So it's like a cumulative damage. So that is what Impale is. It's a cumulative damage, and you can increase the percentage with your skill tree, like Forceful Skewering, 5% increase Impale effect. Basically, instead of 10% more damage, you get like more, right? So this is actually a lot of damage, and it stacks really nicely with your character, because BladeFlurry just attacks so much, it deals so much damage, and you're gonna get an insane amount of damage through the Impale mechanic. This character is a bit expensive, but it's really nice for boss killing, and overall a very good character for the end game, but you need investments. Currently I'm just finished the Act 10, just started mapping with Ichimonji and Tabula Rasa, just to get enough level to equip the 6 link Astral Plate. So not bad of a build. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll probably upload a update build guide for the BladeFlurry soon, once I actually get my gear and everything going. Gonna show you guys how good this build is. I think it's really nice. The leveling so far is really smooth, mapping no problem, damage is really good. So alright, hope you guys have a nice day. I'm gonna put a Path of Building link in the description down below, and I stream on Twitch quite frequently, so you guys can check me out if you want to. I hope you guys have a nice day.